When I wake up in the morning, invariably, there's one of two scenarios. One, the missus is still asleep. Two, she's gone to work. Those are the two scenarios. But regardless of either scenario, if she's home, I'll wake up before her. And if she's gone to work, when I wake up, there's nothing to play with, so I might as well look at my phone. So I get the phone out. I will always, first of all, check Facebook to see what comments I've had from milk floaters overnight and see if I've upset anybody. Because, you know, you've got to start the day right. There's no point starting... Oh, hang on, the radio's come on. I've got to let some air in here. It's getting a bit warm. Because you want to see if you've wound up any floaters overnight. That's the right way to start the day. Because then I wake up with a smile on my face and I'm happy in my life. Then I go to YouTube and see how many views I've had from overseas overnight. And I go, oh, I'm big in Saskatchewan. And then I go to Twitter, where I get the majority of my news from, because obviously I don't watch telly. I do watch telly. I don't watch news on telly because it's propaganda, it's not news. So I scroll through Twitter. I scroll through the following bit first and see what's happened there. And then I go to the For You bit where they recommend bits based on what you're watching. But one of the people I do follow on there is the World Economic Forum. Now, for those of you that still don't know, how do you not know? How do you not know after me doing this for all this time? How do you not know what the World Economic Forum are? They run the world. When Keir Starmer says he would prefer to be in Davos than Westminster, what he means is, I prefer the World Economic Forum to the people that voted me into power. That's basically what he's saying, very, very concisely put. Now, the World Economic Forum were the people behind COVID, the Great Reset, all of that. They're behind Agenda 2030. If you don't know, look it up. It's a United Nations-backed document. And they are the people previously led by Klaus Schwab, possibly the world's first living Bond villain, who come up with all these policies to fuck us up. They're the people behind all the making us want to eat bugs, the 15-minute cities, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, all that lot. It's a billionaire boys club, and they have infiltrated every government around the world and made sure that WEF members are now part of the parliaments. For example, Rishi Sunak, Theresa May, Keir Starmer, Macron, Merkel, Trudeau, that huge teethed woman in New Zealand, what the hell was she called? We are your only force of truth. What was she? Not Janet Street Porter. Though, you know, to be fair, right, once the teeth come out, I automatically go into Janet Street Porter. What was she called? Oh, Jacinda Ardern. What a fucking horrible woman she was. Right, anyway. All that lot, they're all part of the WEF. And so, therefore, they implicate the... implicate? No, they don't. They don't. Well, I suppose they do implicate. By definition, they do. But they impose the policies of the WEF on their governments that they are part of. And it's all part of one big grand plan. These people are running the world. That's the long and the short of it. Anyway, these are also the people that come up with all the policies for motoring. They're the people that don't want you to go anywhere. This is why they have 15-minute cities. This is why they've bought in electric cars with low ranges. This is why everything, it's all joined together. It's one big plan. Agenda 2030, look it up. However, this was a new one on me, as some bird, as I'm going to call her, because I never caught her name. It might be on the video, but I haven't watched the video recently in the last hour or so. So my short-term memory has failed to let me remember her name. So we're going to call her Some Bird. It's talking about the future of car ownership. Now, I'm just going to let you watch the video, and then we'll draw our own conclusions from that. Here we go.
This is why we talk about mobility, because actually, if you can get people to share a car, you can take out, a lot of cars in the streets. I think it's Singapore where they looked how they could bring it down to about 40% of the cars if we would use them smarter. And the interesting thing about technology is that it makes sharing easy and fun and not annoying. It used to be a little bit difficult to share, you know, you would have to go in somewhere in the other end of town and get a key, and I mean, that's not what you want to do if you want to take your car. But if you can just use your neighbor's car because you have a smartphone and an app and you don't even need to know the neighbor to get into his car, or if you can find ways of carpooling, and this is what technology helps you do, it's much easier and much more fun to share, and you start then thinking completely different about transport and traffic. And I think it's very important that we do not just try to fix yesterday's paradigm, but think about how do we want a city to move.
Exactly. I guarantee you, you are now looking at your TV, phone, laptop, tablet with exactly the same expression as me, which is, so hang on, love. What you're saying is, let me translate it into layman's terms. You want me to go out and buy a nice car, and then you want me to not even let it's not, this is the issue, not let my neighbour take my car. You don't even want me to. See, this is the bit, right? This is the bit. This is what makes your head explode. You have a car parked outside your house. Look across the road there. There's Jav's X3M. Lovely. He's worked hard to earn that. So I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and I'm going to take it for a spin. And he's going to come out and go, where the fuck's my car? And then I'll come back and park it in his driveway and go, well, I took it for a spin. Well, why? Well, because according to the WEF, that's the best way to do it. You don't even need to know because of technology. I thought, I've got an app here, Jav. Look at this. Look. Oh, see? I just borrowed your car. But I don't want you to borrow my car. Well, you don't have a fucking choice. What do you mean I don't have a choice? Well, you don't have a choice anymore. That's the whole point. If you own a car, we will now make it available to everyone else. Eh? Yeah, I don't get it either, mate. But I've sold all my cars and I've put my 100 grand in the bank and I'm earning 10% off it. And now I just go around nicking everyone else's car. Eh? Yeah, I know. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? I mean, this is proof that if you give people a tiny, tiny percentage of power, they will exploit it for all it's worth. And it's also proof that management meetings talk absolute fucking bollocks. I've sat in some management meetings in my time. I used to outrule all management speak. There was no blue sky thinking. If you said that, you could leave the room. If you said, well, going forward, what I think we need is a critical path, you're liable to get hiding, and quite rightly so. I mean, it didn't go down well with HR, but that's the way it is. This is a management meeting where they went, yeah, but if we just let people use other people's cars, then, oh yes, this would work, wouldn't it? No, it doesn't work. And you know why it doesn't work? Because people don't like lending their shit to people they don't like. And if you don't like your neighbour, you're not going to lend it to him. Luckily, me and Jav got on fine. And I'm sure if I asked him to borrow his car, it wouldn't be an issue. But that's not the point. I'm talking about not even asking. I'm talking about, let's take this forward. Let's extrapolate, which is a word I would have allowed in management terms because it's quite a good word. It's one of my, it's up there in the top 10. I mean, it's no flaccid, granted, but it is up there in the top 10. So let's assume I don't live in beautiful, sunny, quiet Cornwall with a view of the sea, the wind in the air, and the most expensive property and food and drink prices and beer prices in the world. Let's assume I don't live there. Let's assume I live in, for example, Bradford. And I live in a house, and next door is a rented accommodation. And next door is rented by the government on behalf of a company that shall remain unnamed, Circa. So that, and then it becomes a house of multiple occupancy, an HMO, if you will. And in that, they moved Dr Dinghy Dave. Now, Dr Dinghy Dave isn't a doctor and isn't called Dave, but he did arrive on a dinghy, as with all of his other doctor and engineer friends, who also arrived, fleeing war as bravely as they can, whilst leaving their women and children behind. Now, Dr Dinghy Dave, he's now in next door. I'm sat outside, and I've got a nice Porsche Taycan, because I'm not Lee McMaster, but I am someone who's stupid enough to buy one. And granted, I don't think he's stupid at all, by the way, because his videos have more than paid for the Taycan, right? So it's actually a genius business plan. But, so I've got my Taycan outside. It's got a full charge. I've charged it overnight off my solar panels that I had installed on my roof, and I'm actually being paid to charge my car because I'm feeding back into the tariff. Granted, this is a fucking great stretch of your imagination, because none of this is ever going to happen. I mean, from me living in Bradford to owning a Taycan to owning solar panels on the roof and all the rest, none of it's going to ever happen. But the one thing that could happen, and is likely to happen, is that Dr Dinghy Dave is going to move in next door. That is likely to happen at the rate they're coming over. So I get up in the morning to go to work. Again, this is a hell of a stretch of your imagination. Bear with. I get up in the morning to go to work. I can't. Why not? Because my Taycan's disappeared. And why has it disappeared? Because Dr Dinghy Dave, using his iPhone that he got when he arrived in this country, paid for by us, has got the app to borrow people's cars. And now he's off delivering Deliveroo Doner kebabs. He's delivering Dr Dinghy Dave is delivering Doners in my Taycan. And you know what? I can't do a thing about it, because it's on the app. And I would imagine that the app will be tied to your digital ID, and probably to your central banking digital currency. And should I say no, you are, and I say no on the app, you will not borrow my car, I would imagine my currency will be stopped, and I won't be able to go for a pint tonight, because I didn't let Dr Dinghy Dave deliver Donners in for Deliveroo. Now that sounds like a far-fetched scenario, doesn't it? Well, the Dr Dinghy Dave delivering Deliveroo Donners, Dr Dinghy Dave delivering Donners Deliveroo style, that is happening. The Taycan is happening. The car share bit is the only bit that's missing. Agenda 2030. And do you know what? The main tagline of Agenda 2030 is, in the Great Reset, you will own nothing and you will be happy. Well, if someone's stealing me fucking car every 5 minutes, I ain't gonna own nothing, am I? But I'll tell you what, the only problem with that statement is, I won't be fucking happy about it either. I'd be absolutely rampant. And Dr Dinghy Dave and all of his doctor mates would all be dented in the head with whatever blunt force argument I could find. And they'd only steal it once. But then, what could I do about it? Because by that time, your car's connected to the grid. It's all electric. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. They could just come in and disable your car. We know they can already do that. It's an EU standard that you have to be able to disable a car. So we know that they can go in and disable your car at any point. It's meant to be an anti-theft mechanism. But at what point does it stop becoming an anti-theft mechanism and become a anti-not sharing your car mechanism? Because you don't want Dr Dinghy Dave driving your car to deliver Donners for Deliveroo. I see a t-shirt coming here. There's a Dr Dinghy Dave t-shirt that's not far away from coming. It's not far away. You leave out with me. My new t-shirt, man, he's all over this. Dr Dinghy Dave. He's my favourite. See, now I'm just thinking about t-shirts. So anyway, there you have it. The idea is that you'll just share cars with everyone else, and there'll be half the cars on the road, and somehow this will work and you'll still be happy. Now, you just want to run up and grab hold of her and literally go, future my fucking horse. Yeah, get done for assault or whatever, but you know, won't be the first time, won't be the last, will it? So, there you go. Food for thought, I think you'll agree. But still, it's just bollocks.